Hello, Tyson. Hello, Shelby.
Hi.
Hey.
I have to tell the two of you, I would much rather have gone on your first date than mine. You had a lot more fun than getting stuck with a check at a McDonald's drive-thru. So,
Oh,
Well,
this movie, you guys look like you were having so much fun. Tyson, your facial expressiveness and your physicality is, I just have to laugh. Your reactions to the absurdity of the characters you're encountering, the absurdity of that car. Now, I love classic cars, and a 65 Chrysler is a really fun car to have pop up in a film. But, you know, with all those little hidden things in the car, not a good thing. But it
not at
is,
all.
your reactions to things are phenomenal. And you, Shelby, and then Shelby, you are genuinely, you make Kelsey genuinely kind. And you really embrace his shyness, and we feel a sensitivity that you bring to her, and that she really is interested in him despite everything, and she would have liked him even without a car. And so it's a testament to the two of you, because it is the core of this film. Without the two of you, all the antics and the insanity happening around you would not have worked. So you guys knock it out of the park.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, that means a lot right there.
That's words. Thank you.
You know, and on top of having to, you've got a lot of dialogue, you're in these frenetic, action situations. You both have a lot of physicality and fight choreography happening here.
Oh, yeah. Mainly Shelby.
A lot of fighting is done.
How did you read a script and you see all this cool stuff on the page? And I'm sure both of you were laughing when you read the script. But then you get to shooting or rehearsal, and it's like, oh my God, I've got to kick somebody in the nuts. I got to punch him out. I'm getting tied up and thrown in the trunk of a car. How do the two of you prepare, not only as your individual characters out on this exciting first date, but also for the action portion of your roles? Who wants to go first?
I'll go, Shelby. At least for me, I had a lot of, I had to learn how to fight. I had to do training for all of that. And then the fight scenes were very strategically choreographed. So that in itself was a whole learning experience. I've never done anything like that before. It was super fun though. And yeah, like you said, I was like, I'm not really sure. I read the script and I'm like, I'm so game to do whatever I need to do to make this, look real and authentic. But definitely didn't know how I was going to do that. So I was so grateful that Manuel and Darren got me a trainer, and I got to learn a lot from him, Phil Weaver. And then, the fight scenes were choreographed down to a T. I sometimes would hit my mark, and sometimes I wouldn't. And then, me and the other actor I'd kind of injure him a little bit. But, it's all trial and error. I don't think any of us had done that before, but it actually came out so good. So I loved it.
Well, and we could, of course, now you can start putting on your resume, stunt woman in training.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. What about for you, Tyson?
Oh, I looked at the script and thought fun. At first, after I got over, being nervous, the lead role and all this other stuff, I was like, I am about to have a lot of fun right now. Because as a kid, I grew up watching action movies and admiring a lot of actors that did their own stunts. And, of course, also as a kid, you're like jumping around the couch, and I used to act like, like I was in the Transformers movies, all the bullets and stuff going around me. And so being able to actually do my own stunts in the movie was like a dream, an absolute dream come true, something I didn't see coming this early on in my career. And it was just so much fun to just like flop around and do all kinds of stuff and act like I'm running from bullets and all this stuff. Like, oh man, like I can't describe how amazing that was.
So, in other words, what you're telling everyone is you were the kid who used to jump around from couch to chair to couch and stay off the carpet because it was lava and you couldn't fall in the lava.
Yep. That was it. Also, a fun story. I actually was jumping on the couch to a love seat or something like that, and my mom was there. She told me to stop jumping, and of course, you're a kid, you're just being bad. And I fell and bust my chin wide open on the coffee table, and I had to go get rushed to the hospital to get stitched. So, yes, I was that kid.
Well, I hope now you've been able to tell your mom that, see, look, I was in training for this film role.
Exactly.
That's it. Oh, my God. Well, you both do the action sequences and all of the physicality just so well. And it's a testament to both of you because, Shelby, I think this is your first feature film. TYSON, I think this might be your second. So to jump into a film that is as frenzied as this one, it says a lot about both of you and your determination and your skill set already.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. This is actually my first as well.
Oh, my God.
Feature film.
Wow. So, okay, we've got directors at first feature film. We've got the talent that's first feature film. But the performances and everything about this film belie it being a first for any of you. So, applause to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Did you get any rehearsal time for the quote-unquote quiet, dramatic, or romantic moments? Did you have a chance to rehearse with each other, develop some chemistry?
We had rehearsals. Not really for the more intimate romantic scenes. I don't remember, at least. We definitely rehearsed on other scenes, I feel, and we kind of built our chemistry that way. I also would pick up TYSON sometimes, take him to set with me, and talk. You're welcome. We would talk to the partner, just kind of, made a relationship there and a bond. And then when it came down to those scenes, I feel like sometimes rehearsal too much on those could kind of take away the genuine response and just natural chemistry. So I think they were smart not to have us rehearse too much with those, but yeah.
How much of TYSON and Shelby do we see in Mike and Kelsey?
For me, you see the young middle school, early high school years of TYSON. That was quite the shy, to myself kid in my own box. Please, no one else come in my box, please. I was very just lost in the world, not really knowing who or what I was, or believing in myself a lot. Just that was me in middle school and early high school. So I'm glad I got to put that to use, and hopefully someone else gets to learn from this experience.
I think what they're learning is don't buy a 65 Chrysler car from a shady guy, and if you do, look in the glove compartment first. And what about for you, Shelby? How much of Shelby is in Kelsey?
Well, Kelsey, actually, I related to her a lot, so I would say she's probably 75% Shelby. That extra, percentage is just stuff that I wish that I was. She's fearless, ruthless, super strong. I think I'm those things sometimes, but I do get anxious and I am a scaredy cat, so it was actually really fun to embrace those parts of me that I'm not and act like I was in Kelsey and just kind of make her this version of maybe myself that I wish that I was. But she was so much fun to play.
Because this was the first film for both of you, what was the learning curve like? Jumping into, an indie film, which of course it's rapid, it's fast, you've got limited shooting time, but you've also got a first-time feature director on board. Both of you, it's your first film. What was that learning curve like for you as actors?
I think before this, I had done just some student projects, so definitely it was an adjustment, just the filming, like time frame, it being months, not just we're going to film for 2 days and then the little short is over. But it was actually I think we got super lucky with the fact that everybody was kind of new, or this was like everyone's first feature, at least me, Tyson, Darren, and Manuel. And so we got super lucky that Manuel still took the time, even though we were on time constraints and things like that, he would still take the time to, direct us and just be like, how do you, what about if we do it this way, or let's try it this way, and how do you feel about doing it like this, and just really took that time where we didn't feel, or I at least didn't feel, like we were being rushed along, even though we definitely did have time constraints. It actually flowed so smoothly for it being all of our work.
What about for you, Tyson? What kind of learning curve did you have here?
I think for me, I was nervous about not being able to perform as a lead, like having the responsibility of a lead is a lot. And so I remember asking this guy who lives in Sacramento. He used to produce movies, and somehow I got to know this guy. Don't remember how. But I asked, I was like, what do you think about, like, acting classes and all this other stuff? He was like, man, like, long story short, you don't need it. Just use what you have inside of you. Use all your old experiences or current experiences and put them to use. And so I took that advice very happily and very seriously and put all that to this film. And then piggyback off of what Shelby said, just Darren and Manuel just made it really relaxing and easy to, like, feel comfortable, to feel different, because, like, acting for me was still different at the time, just, like, being vulnerable out in public on a camera and all that stuff. And, like, the way Manuel would just, like, take me to the side sometimes and just really help me break down a scene or Mike, just in certain shots or scenes. He would just be like, hey, like, really think about how this makes him feel, or how he should do this, or how he should do that. Just allowing me to, like, not having to answer the question, just internalizing the question inside of my head, and then just being able to, like, all right, let me know when you're ready, and we'll shoot the scene. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it right there.
Now, Shelby, you've done some student shorts and all, much shorter, a lot more time, and obviously not as dialogue heavy as First Date is. Did you have the freedom to ad-lib or make changes to the dialogue, especially with all the action and all of the activity happening around Mike and Kelsey? Or did Manuel want you sticking pretty much to the script? I'm curious how much freedom you had with your dialogue.
We actually had a lot of freedom with dialogue, and that's, not always the case with movies and directors, but Manuel is super open to, things not having to be verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the ad-libs actually worked really well. So it actually was, I feel like, him being the director, like, it was a great creative decision to just kind of welcome that, and not be too honed in on dialogue being so, precise. But it was, definitely a lot of freedom, very dialogue heavy for me. So I remember being nervous about, lines and stuff like that, but he totally, made us feel more comfortable about it. And I think some of the ad-lib stuff and improv things that came about just make the film, like, so much better even.
Mm-hmm. And what about for you, Tyson?
Oh, yeah, the flexibility we had was amazing. I don't know, you make yourself feel way more comfortable when you, like, know the director trusts you, and you can therefore trust the director. And it makes it a great team to work with. And so, yes, doing certain shots, I would just randomly say certain things or look certain ways when I wasn't really supposed to, and it worked. And I just think it makes being an actor way more enjoyable because it feels more realistic. You're able to like take a break from the script and just bring out the rawness of the character.
Well, I have to say, when you're bringing out the rawness of the character, you know, Mike comes across at moments he's hapless and befuddled and has kind of a what the hell is going on around me. And through it all, you exude such charm that you fall in love with the character of Mike and what he's going through. All of this because he wanted to take Kelsey out on a real date in a car. And you stole my heart as I'm watching you
Thank you.
with what you're bringing to the
you.
role. But you know, not too many people, you pull off what we got from John Cusack decades ago in Say Anything. That's about what I can equate a lot of what you bring to Mike is what John brought to Lloyd Dobler. So,
Well, thank you. Oh my God. Did
yeah.
not expect that compliment. Thank you so much.
I only give out deserved compliments. Every publicist on this film will tell you that. You know, I'm curious for each of you, what did you learn about yourself in making this film that you can now take forward into your future projects?
I would have to say that I learned that I am a lot more strong than I thought. I think when you make any actor or actress that tells people what they're doing as, oh, I'm making a movie and I can't go to this event because I have to go film, or I can't do this, or I can't do that because I have to film, and some people kind of would frown, down upon that and be like, oh, good luck with your dream, and not in like a condescending way, but people just don't always understand dreams, and I think I just learned, and I just was pretty strong throughout all of the like judgment about it, but a part of me just knew that this movie was going to go somewhere. I just had a gut feeling, and I just believed so much in Manuel and Darren's vision and their passion for it that I just kind of learned that as long as, that I'm stronger than I thought I was mentally, and as long as I believe in myself, like, that's all that really matters, and I'll take that forward with me on, this whole acting journey.
And what about for you, Tyson?
For me, one thing that runs through my head a lot is these words aren't just for me, it's for everyone. It's just, you are enough whenever you have something that seems like monstrous. What's the word? I can't even say the word. Monstrous or monstrosity, something like that. Like, believing in yourself that you are enough, that you're going to get through it at the end of the day. And just showing up is half of the battle, honestly.
So what do you guys see down the road? Are there particular genres that you want to get into and dive into? You want to kind of stick in this comedy, an extreme rom-com, we'll call it. With heavy on the comedy. Do you have any idea where you want to take yourselves in acting?
For me, I love character study movies, things that just I do love big motion picture movies as well, but like things that are so focused on someone's life and someone's livelihood just really attracts my attention when I'm watching film. I'm really into it so hard that I like take notes and stuff while I'm watching it. So stuff like that, or just big fans of some directors. Maybe some example of Christopher Nolan, a guy named Steve McQueen, Brian Coogler. So like things like that. People who take the story really seriously. I just love projects like that, just like we did with First Aid.
Mm-hmm. And what about for you, Shelby?
Yeah, I actually never thought about doing comedy. I love drama and romance movies. I do love rom-coms. I just never knew if I would, be able to get there comedically. And I actually, felt really comfortable with doing more comedy and stuff after this movie. So now I kind of see myself kind of doing anything. I love rom-coms. I would love to be in a rom-com again, and or a drama, action even. I'm kind of like obsessed with the action sequences and like doing all those fun stunts, and I just love all of that. So my goal is just to keep going and just book some more stuff that I'm actually passionate about, like I was about this movie.
Yeah, like I said, stunt woman in training. I see it. I see this years from now. I'll be able to say, I remember her first action role.
Yes, you're calling it right now.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Guys, I can't thank you enough. This has been so much fun talking to the two of you about this movie. I love this movie. And like I said, boy, I wish my very first date had been as much fun and chaotic as yours, rather than getting stuck with the check at McDonald's. So I can't wait to see what each of you does next, and I hope I get to talk to you again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For kind words.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.